Hey everyone, this is Bill from Blue Collar Commander. We've been playing some spell table games, and I've really been enjoying this deck, so I thought I'd share it with you guys. It is Rhoda, Geist Avenger, and Timin, Youthful Geist. They both partner with each other. Rhoda has Vigilance, he's a 3/3 human soldier, and whenever a creature an opponent controls becomes tapped, if it isn't being declared as an attacker, put a +1/+1 counter on Rhoda, Geist Avenger. His partner Timin here reads Flying, he is a 3/4 for 5. And at the beginning of each combat, tap up to one target creature. So what we're doing is we're tapping our opponent's creatures over and over and over again. He's going to get bigger and bigger while he just kind of sits around and helps Rhoda out. So we'll jump right into, I think, what is going to be the meat and potatoes of the deck. This is my first live deck tech, by the way, so let me know if you enjoy this. If you do, I'll keep doing more because they're a little easier to produce. Plus it shows what I actually play, So the first section I'm going to go over is like tap control, like singular tap control. And here we're going to have Gideon's Lawkeeper, Gold Meadow Harrier, Hidden Strings, Hands of Binding, Niblis of the Urn, Great Sword of Tyr, Court Street Denizen, Minister of Impediments, Dream Shacklegeist, Scepter of Dominance, Niblis of the Breath, Nebelgast Herald, Fall from Favor, Hammers of Moradin, Citadel Siege, Icing Death Frost Tyrant, Time of Ice, and Ballynock Trapper. So of these cards, I'm definitely going to say that Citadel Siege is really good. It basically gives us a second effect from Timin here. Because each combat we get to tap a creature. And then I think Ballynock Trapper is probably my first cut. She's just really expensive for what she does, but she can combo pretty well once I get other engines rolling and whatnot. Moving on from that, we're going to go to what really makes this deck hum. So this is all about cards that make all of our opponent's creatures tap, or all of one target opponent creatures tap. Basically what we do is we wait around, we try and build up Rhoda a little bit, and then when the time is right, we play one of these cards, and he gets huge, and our opponents can't really block because they're all going to be tapped, typically on the end step before my turn. So these cards include Bluster Squall, which can both double as a target creature I don't control, or I can overload it for 4. Then we have Glimpse the Sun God. We have Gridlock, which are both basically the same card. We have Deluge, which is pretty good there. Sleep. Not many Commander decks play Sleep, so it's kind of cool to see that get some play. Aether Shockwave, Cone of Cold, Tempest Collar, Bond of Discipline, which also acts as a huge lifelink source, Githzeri Monk, Illithid Harvester, and Thoughtweft Gambit. And we also have Subjugator Angel, and I think the star of the deck is definitely going to be Ensnare. Ensnare reads, you may return 2 islands you control to their owner's hand instead of paying Ensnare's mana cost. Tap all creatures at instant speed. So yeah, when our opponent thinks we can't do a big trick like this, Ensnare allows us to put them off guard and probably kill a player. I get a lot of commander kills with Rhoda, So those are the 2 main categories of the deck. They're really what make the deck do what the deck needs to do. So now we'll go into some more basics of the deck. We're going to start off with card draw. We don't have too much. This is something I'd like to add more of. So we have Betrayal, which is really good. You enchant a creature you don't control. Whenever it becomes tapped, I draw a card. So usually I just put it on someone's commander and I just let it sit around and I keep tapping it with Timin. We have Experimental Augury, which can also let us get some cards, but it also lets us proliferate, which is helpful a little bit with Rhoda. We have Borrowing 100,000 Arrows, which when you tap all of your opponent's creatures on their end step and you play Borrowing 100,000 Arrows, I've drawn probably upwards to 10 cards from the target opponent I target with it. Verity Circle. It basically turns Rhoda into draw a card every combat step, which is absolutely amazing. We have Gadwick the Wizened, who is an X-draw spell card, but he can also, whenever you cast a blue spell, you can tap target non-land permanent and opponent controls. So more tap control, but the main reason he's here is probably, for the most part, going to be his ability to draw cards. And then we have Mystic Confluence, which is also a counter spell, and it's also a control spell, but it's also a draw spell. So I put it in here just to pad that number a little bit. All right, moving on, we're going to go to removal. The removal package is pretty simple. It's a Swords to Plowshares, a Giant Killer, which is another card that both doubles as removal and will eventually become a tap target creature card to get us through the hard times there. We have Pongify. We have Narset's Reversal, which is really freaking cool. I really like Narset's Reversal. Resculpt, which has become like an MVP for me lately in any deck I play it in. So we have Generous Gift. We have Return to Dust. We have Aerial Extortionist, which decent removal, and they usually will be playing those cards to draw me a card. So, and then we have Austere Command, which is just a big old board wipe. Good for control. Scoop these up. We'll move on to just some toys I like for the deck here. I really like these cards. Some of them are going to get cut, like Spectre Shroud. Good card. I have some flyers. I have a lot of flyers in the deck, so I'm going to be hitting. And when I do it, makes you discard a card, so that's not too bad. We have Rule of Law, because this deck is a slow game. I don't like to go fast in this deck. And Rule of Law kind of keeps everybody in check. It does draw some hate, though. Up next, we have Flaming Fist. We have Duelist Heritage. These will both give Rhoda double strike. So even tapping a small board and then dropping double strike on Rhoda will typically result in winning a game, or at least killing an opponent. Now we have Stolen Identity. Once again, lots of flyers. Let's make token copies of dope things. We have Radiant Solar, which just a card I kind of threw in. It does do some stuff, though. We can get to venturing pretty quickly in this deck. We have a lot of creatures, I feel. We have Millicent. There's a couple reasons this is in here. I have a lot of spirits, so she'll cost less, and she also makes a lot of spirits, and there's a lot of cards that do things when spirits come in. So there's that. And then last but not least, we have Willbreaker, which is absolutely insane in the deck. Once again, Timin becomes the problem. Timin, every combat step, will be targeting an opponent's creature, and then when I do, I'll gain control of it as long as I control Willbreaker. So if Timin and let's say Citadel Siege is on the field at the same time, I get 2 every combat step, not to mention all of the targeted tap control cards I play as well. So Willbreaker has stolen some games alone. So this deck's pretty budget too, by the way. So I'll put out a list in the comments so you guys can come check it out. And the rest of the deck is the boring stuff. We got some ramp cards, and it's pretty simple stuff. We got a Soul Ring. We got a Wayfarer's Bauble. We got an Arcane Signet, an Azorius Signet, a Felwar Stone, a Prismatic Lens, Mind Stone, and Commander's Sphere. So moving on from here, it's pretty much just land. So let's see what we got real quick. We have a bunch of plains, a bunch of islands, which these will all be in the deck list I post, so you can get exact counts. In here is also a secluded step, but I forgot to pull it out. And then we have a prairie stream. We have an exotic orchard. We have a port town. And we have a command tower. We might actually change that secluded step into a Path of Ancestry so we can get some scries. I forgot to put it in here. Somehow I was playing it without it. I was actually playing this without a Soul Ring up until today, and when I realized I didn't have a Soul Ring or an Arcane Signet in the deck, which is just silly. So anyway, I do have to point out that we are playing Icing Death, so we can't play Icing Death without Frost Tongue. It's a shiny Frost Tongue token. Ooh. So anyway, that's the deck, folks. Let me know what you think. Give us a like, comment, subscribe, let us know all that stuff. If you like these lifestyle deck techs, let me know. They're a lot quicker to do, and I can put out more content. So, like, comment, subscribe. Thanks for watching, and come hang out with us in the comments. All right. Peace out.